Thought you knew anything about the NFL? Well, this week took all of that and shoved it into the dirt. Good quarterbacks played terrible, good teams played terrible, and even the Giants played terrible. Okay, wait, no, never mind, that's normal. Last week I had another decent week, going 10-4, bringing my total record on the season to 152. I've officially hit 100 correct predictions, so that's cool. In this video, I'll be predicting every week 11 game with score predictions. If you enjoyed this video, then please drop a like and subscribe if you're new. Subscribing takes just a second and it really helps me out. Thank you, and let's get started. Las Vegas Raiders versus Miami Dolphins. The Raiders got a nice long break to think about that absolute thrashing by the Bengals. This defense is so bad. Max Crosby hasn't had any help, and even he hasn't been his true self this year. The Dolphins managed to get their first win with Tua since week 1, and believe it or not, that was also the last time Tyreek Hill scored a touchdown until Monday. It sounds insane, but the Dolphins technically aren't dead yet. They're only 2 games behind the Broncos. They would basically have to win out though, and luckily for them, this should be a really easy game. I'm taking the Dolphins 27-17, and to keep their season alive by the slimmest of margins. Cleveland Browns versus New Orleans Saints. So the Saints got the most predictable win ever. Everybody knew that Derek Carr was going to play like a top 10 quarterback. Everybody knew that this defense was going to hold the Falcons to 17 points. Everybody knew that Marcus Valdes-Scantling was going to look like prime Randy Moss. Everybody knew that. Wait a minute, when the hell did MVS go to the Saints? Am I the only one that just doesn't remember this? Anyway, good for New Orleans. They snapped their 7-game losing streak. I guess it had to happen eventually. The Browns, well, they experienced the good side of Jameis Winston against the Ravens and the bad side of Jameis Winston against the Chargers. 3 interceptions as well, less than ideal. I get the Saints won, but they're still a bad team. And we know the Browns are a bad team. But in the end, someone has to win this game. And I'm taking the Saints to get back-to-back victories with a 20-19 win. I think Derek Carr will be ever so slightly less bad than Jameis. And if the Saints can force a few turnovers from him, then they will win this game. Indianapolis Colts versus New York Jets. Well, after saying Joe Flacco was going to be the starter for the remainder of the season, now the Colts have decided to go back to Anthony Richardson. Good move. Now, don't put Flacco back in and be patient with your project quarterback. This is a great time for it too, because the Colts run defense is much better with Richardson in there, and the Jets run defense is not good at all. Speaking of the Jets, well, how their season is basically over. They gave themselves life with that win over the Texans, and then they completely squandered that life by getting their ass handed to them for 60 minutes straight by the Arizona Cardinals. They got thoroughly dominated in every way. I know some people expected the Jets to disappoint a bit, but I doubt anybody expected them to be 3-7 through 10 weeks. This is bad. I think Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor are going to run all over the Jets en route to a 23-17 win. It may be time for the old man to hang it up. Minnesota Vikings versus Tennessee Titans. The Vikings are coming off a road game where they thoroughly dominated Jacksonville. They had nearly 2.5 times the time of possession, ran near double the plays, had near triple the first downs, 259 more yards, had 1.6 more yards per play, forced 3 turnovers on defense. They completely and utterly dominated over Jacksonville. And they won by 5, all because of this man right here. This is Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold has had a career resurgence so far, but on Sunday, Sam Darnold was about as good as a 70-year-old with cerebral palsy. Want to know why the Vikings went 0 for 5 in the red zone? Because this man threw 3 awful interceptions. Every single one of the Vikings' points came from their kicker that they signed on Wednesday. They now have the fewest points with over 400 yards in one game this season. If the Vikings want to be a real team, Darnold needs to clean up the turnovers, and fast. He needs to stop trying to force passes to Justin Jefferson. 5 of his 10 interceptions came when targeting him. I get he's the best wide receiver in the league, but he's not going to be open on every play. You have TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Addison, and Aaron Jones to throw to if JJ is covered. Use them. The Vikings are lucky that they have such an amazing defense, because if they didn't, then they would not be 7-2 right now. As for the Titans, well, that wasn't that bad. Will Levis didn't turn the ball over for once, so that was nice to see. They just got outplayed by a better team. However, they are going against Minnesota, and that defense feasts on young turnover-prone quarterbacks like Levis. I think Tennessee's defense can keep it somewhat close, but I'm taking Minnesota 21-10. It's hard to win if you can't score points, and the Vikings aren't going to let up very many points. Green Bay Packers versus Chicago Bears. I don't think I've ever seen one play completely destroy an entire team. Ever since that Hail Mary, the Bears haven't scored a single touchdown and have been outscored 48-12. Their latest showing, a complete humiliation in which Caleb was sacked 9 times and mustered just 3 points. He has now lost 2 and been thoroughly outplayed by both rookie quarterbacks drafted right after him. And now he gets to play the Packers, who are hungry and going to do whatever they can to keep pace with Minnesota and Detroit. They had a tough loss to the Lions, but everybody has tough losses to the Lions. Tennessee. This game is not, and I mean not, going to be pretty. Give me Green Bay and slaughter 28-13. The Bears lose their 11th straight against the Packers, lose their first divisional game of the season, and their playoff hopes are quickly going away. But hey, at least Shane Waldron is gone, because if he was still here, then this prediction would be more like a 28-6. And no more fullback dives to offensive linemen. Jacksonville Jaguars versus Detroit Lions. Jags kept it close, but in the end, having Mac Jones as your quarterback makes winning very hard. And he gets to play again. Oh boy, this is gonna go just splendid. The Lions keep on showing that they can win no matter what. In week 9, they won despite horrible weather, and in week 10, they won despite Jared Goff throwing 5 interceptions. I think he was actively going for Ty Detmer's record, but unlike Ty, he actually won. How he won? I don't even know, but he won. Even when their quarterback is at his absolute worst, the Lions can still win. I don't know how you stop this team. I just don't. And Jacksonville sure as hell aren't doing that. I'm taking Detroit 35-10, and that's light. This has the potential to be another Tennessee situation. It's that one-sided. Los Angeles Rams versus New England Patriots. I thought the Patriots would upset the Bears, but I didn't think it would be like this. 9 sacks in one game is wild. They clamped down on Caleb Williams and that offense. And apart from one really bad throw, Drake May played another good game. If you're a Pats fan, you have to like what you're seeing from him so far. He likely won't be the next Tom Brady, but he's looking like the QB of the future for sure. As for the Rams, I just don't know what to do with them anymore. How could I? This team went from beating 2 good teams in a row by a combined 16 points to losing to the now 3-6 Dolphins. Yes, the Dolphins are good with Tua in there, but it's really the Rams offense that disappointed me. The Dolphins defense hasn't been great this year, but LA really couldn't do anything against them. This game is tough because if the Rams are on, then they wipe the floor with the Patriots, but it's hard to predict when they'll be on or not. The Patriots are playing well right now, and I think they get another upset with a 21-20 win. I think Drake May continues throwing with confidence and leads the Pats to another win. Baltimore Ravens versus Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers finally get to play in a divisional game. Their schedule so far has been a cakewalk, but the real test starts here with the Ravens. They are coming off a great win against the Commanders though. Mike Williams has done more with the Steelers with one singular catch than he did his entire tenure with the Jets. George Pickens continues to make amazing catches like it's nothing, and Russ is cooking even more than he did in Denver. The Steelers are a good team, but the Ravens are a great team. They may not have a defense, but their offense is the best in the AFC for sure. Having the current MVP and Offensive Player of the Year will do that. This is going to be a classic AFC North showdown, and while the Steelers have had the Ravens number the past few games, I'm taking Baltimore here 27-24. It's a near impossible task to stop this offense, even for the Steelers defense. Seattle Seahawks versus San Francisco 49ers. Christian McCaffrey came back and was an immediate impact. Jordan Mason was great in McCaffrey's absence, but he just doesn't have the receiving ability that Christian has. Getting him back is huge for this team, and for Brock Purdy, who had a season high in yards. This team is still one of the best in the league, even if their record doesn't necessarily show it. They also killed the Seahawks last time they played them, and that was on the road. At home, there's no reason for the 49ers to lose this game. I'm taking them 30-21. The Seahawks aren't very good right now, and the 49ers are. It's really that simple. Atlanta Falcons versus Denver Broncos. Yeesh, Atlanta, what happened? Or should I say, yeesh, Younghoe Koo, what happened? Losing to the Saints was not on my bingo card for sure. I get the whole new head coach energy thing, but come on. That was a game you should have won. Another team that should have won? Denver. Seriously, you go through all that, you're right there, about to finally break the Chiefs' undefeated streak, and you let the kick get blocked. How? Just how? Both of these teams are still good, but they both should have an extra win right now. I feel like this game is going to be close, and it could go both ways, but I'm taking the Falcons 24-21. Bijan Robinson is going to run all over the Broncos defense, just like he has to teams all season, and that's going to be the deciding factor in this one. Kansas City Chiefs versus Buffalo Bills. How do they keep getting away with it? How in the hell do they keep getting away with it? At this point, I'm starting to think the Chiefs are secretly wizards who cast a dark spell over the entire NFL, because you can't make this shit up. The Chiefs are a toenail, pass interference call, 4th down, coin toss, and blocked kick away from having a losing record. I mean, it's ridiculous at this point. The Bills are a good team. They really are. But I just don't see how they win. I want to pick them. I want them to win. But they won't. They just won't. Just please let it be a normal game without some shenanigans. I guess I'll take Kansas City 24-23. Again, just please let this be a normal game. So what am I kidding? I'm sure the Chiefs will be down 27-21 in the 4th quarter with 5 seconds left on their own 1-yard line. And then Chiefs-aholic will break out of prison, invade the stadium, and score a 99-yard touchdown to win the game. At this point, would that even be surprising? Cincinnati Bengals versus Los Angeles Chargers. Really, Cincy? Really? You have 2 players in the midst of the best seasons in their entire career, and this team is going to finish 8-9 because their defense was exactly like Kamala Harris during the presidential election. Completely annihilated. My God, it's horrible. You let Tylan Wallace and washed-ass Mark Andrews combine for 183 yards and 2 touchdowns. You let Nelson Aguilar score a touchdown in 2024. If you didn't have the best goddamn quarterback wide receiver duo in the entire league, then I don't know if you even have a win right now. Speaking of Jamar Chase, how the hell isn't this dude paid yet? He said he wanted 1 penny more than Justin Jefferson, then give him 1 penny more than Justin Jefferson. He's the only receiver in the whole league that even rivals Jefferson's ability. 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a fat L. Joe Burrow, 428 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a big fat L. All because of Cincy's defense. That being said, the Chargers aren't as good on offense as the Ravens, so it shouldn't be as bad. I'll take Cincy 31-24. But if they score more than 30 points and lose this game, fire everybody. Houston Texans versus Dallas Cowboys. I see why before the season this was a good primetime game to schedule, but now it's gonna be ugly. Dallas is the worst team in the NFL without Dak. Cooper Rush was ass, so they put in Trey Lance and he immediately threw a pick into double coverage. But that wasn't even the most embarrassing loss this week. Houston, it's halftime and I see you have a 23-7 lead. Oh look, it's the start of the fourth quarter. You have a 23-13 lead and Jared Goff has thrown 5 picks. Fast forward to the end of the game and are you kidding me with this shit? Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions. I repeat, 5 interceptions and you still lost. You still lost. Your entire offensive line needs to be replaced because it's completely horrible. CJ Stroud needs somebody out here to throw to because Tank Dell and Dalton Schultz can't get it done on their own. I mean, the whole thing's pathetic. Houston, we have a problem. The good news is, Nico Collins should be playing this week, and you're going against the Cowboys without Dak Prescott. This should, and I repeat, should be an easy win, 24-7. We can never get consistently good primetime games, can we? But that's it. Those are my week 11 NFL predictions. Where do you agree? Where do you disagree? Comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe, and that's it for me. See ya and enjoy week 11.